Alright, it seems like we haven't even gotten a chance to digest what happened on Saturday night because of the news. And why I think this might cause Leon and the UFC to have a terrible relationship going forward. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share and everything. You guys always give me the best support, so I can't thank you guys enough. And today we're going to be talking about Leon Edwards, host UFC 286. It seems like Colby Covington is next. What do I think of that matchup? Does Colby deserve the shot? And what's going on with Leon in the UFC? I'm going to break down all of that and more. But before we do, every Saturday, yes, we're moving into Saturdays, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for this Saturday's Q&A, leave it in the comment section below, and I'm going to add it for Saturday. We're also going to be live streaming on Sundays at 10 a.m. every single week, so tune in for that. I might live stream a little extra this week. I don't know. We'll see how I feel, but just know live streams will never change the video schedule. There will always be a video, don't worry. But I think I bored you guys enough, so without further ado, let's just get into this video. All right, Leon Edwards. We all know Leon Edwards won the title all the way back in August when he knocked Kamaru Usman out cold. It's been about 6 months later, and last weekend, Leon Edwards made his first title defense against Kamaru Usman, defending his title and beating Kamaru Usman somewhat convincingly. I had the fight as a draw, but as I said before, if anybody won the fight, it was Leon. I cannot see a scenario where you score Kamaru Usman the fight, and even according to my scorecards, if you subtract that point, you have Leon winning. But what I think should happen to Kamaru Usman next is another video of its own. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But what should Leon Edwards do next? Now, during the lead up, I was under the belief that if Leon won, we would wait to see the winner of Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal, seeing those are two fresh matchups for Leon Edwards, and the winner I assumed would fight Leon. Or maybe we would have a rematch with Belal Muhammad, seeing their last fight ended in an eye poke. But this option I did not expect leading up to this fight. Colby Covington all of a sudden back to the picture, last seen in March, and then he got assaulted shortly after by Jorge Masvidal, allegedly. The guy has basically been silent since, only posting sponsorships on his Instagram. But all of a sudden he weighs in as the backup fighter for UFC 286, does tons of media, and basically talks shit on the whole welterweight division.
I was referring to that dog-faced motherfucker cum shot. You know, he talks all this shit, dude. He said all these things about me in the media. Yeah, of course they're gonna say things in the media. They don't say things in my face or in the octagon. He's been saying, oh, I want to fight for the title 170. I want to fight Colby, this and that. Dude, the guy quit to the common cold.
And you gotta give credit to Colby. As soon as Leon won, he went to the back, calling for his title shot. Now, although I can agree, yes, Colby does not deserve the title shot. And in my opinion, if we're giving people that don't deserve title shots, give it to Masvidal. The story is there, and Leon wants to fight him. It would be such an interesting matchup because they are both strikers. And you have the whole backstory with Jorge Masvidal assaulting Leon Edwards backstage. You could have done a massive fight with that. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen because Dana White confirmed himself that Colby Covington is next for the title shot.
I don't know when we'll do it, but yeah, that's the fight that makes sense. And Colby came here and cut weight, you know, and did everything to be here for this fight. He deserves the fight.
So it's Leon Edwards versus...
Not to mention the fact that he's, you know, the second or third best guy in the world.
So it is Leon versus Colby next.
Yeah.
And my question is why? Like, why don't we wait to see Jorge Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns? What if Masvidal knocks out Gilbert Burns in the first round? What if he looks like a totally different fighter? Like, these are all possibilities. And while, yes, I think Gilbert Burns will most likely beat Masvidal, seeing that I've always hyped up Gilbert Burns as one of the best in the welterweight division, I think that they should at least wait to see what happens with that. Not to mention you have Belal Muhammad that's won something like 8 fights in a row, who had a no contest against Leon Edwards because Leon poked him in the eye. And not to mention he fought Leon Edwards last time on short notice. A lot of people seem to forget this, that he stepped in to replace Hamza and essentially saved the fight night. You didn't see Colby taking that fight, did you? So I think they should give Belal Muhammad the title shot just based off of that, just to repay him for filling in all the way back then. But regardless, Belal Muhammad, let's face it, isn't selling pay-per-views. Nobody really wants to see Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. At least the non-casual audience doesn't want to see it. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, but I think Belal needs a high-profile name, and I think that's why if he beats Shavkat, he'll most definitely get the title shot next. But that's gonna conclude the video because everything is set and done. Colby versus Leon happening International Fight Week. There's absolutely no dispute on other side. Oh wait, I'm just getting word that that's actually not true. We have some massive drama coming from Leon Edwards because Leon Edwards has said that he's not going to sign any contract that has Colby Covington's name on it.
I definitely will say, you know, and listen, Ian getting the title shot next. Like,
if they present this to you guys, you're going to say, no, I'm not doing this?
Yeah, I feel like he needs at least one more fight.
Now, I will be the first one to say, look, Colby doesn't deserve a title shot. But let's be real about something. Leon Edwards is criticizing Colby Covington for getting a title shot when it's been a year since his last fight. But if you'll remember, when Leon Edwards got the title shot, all the way back in August, his last fight was a year and a few months earlier against Nate Diaz. Like, at least Colby Covington beat Masvidal, a guy that's actually ranked. Not to mention, we all know how that fight with Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz ended. And yes, I know Leon did accept a lot of fights, and that's my main defense of him, which is why I'm not too hard on him, because to Leon's credit, he accepted Khamzat, he accepted the Jorge Masvidal fight in between that. All those fights got canceled, but I genuinely believe this whole lawsuit situation was what stopped Colby from fighting. I think that this is kind of beyond his control. I don't think it's as clear cut as he was just declining fights. I think there's something going on behind the scenes, and I think it's pretty evident seeing how weird this whole situation is, from Colby secretly being a backup fighter to him all of a sudden getting a title shot, to Dana White saying Colby Covington has accepted every fight and Khamzat saying the opposite. This whole situation is weird, and I have no idea what's going on with that. I hope eventually we get some clarity, but we probably won't. But the main reason why I want to talk about this is because of Leon Edwards in the UFC and why I'm very concerned about this situation. I don't fault Leon for not wanting to fight Colby. It's not because he's scared, but it's simple because he really does not deserve it. And in a perfect world, it makes total sense for Colby to fight Bilal Muhammad for a #1 contender spot. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't think it was the smartest idea for Leon Edwards to come on Dana White's arch nemesis' show to openly say that he is not going to listen to his boss, undermine everything he said at the press conference in public. It's okay to have disagreements, but I think it's important to know when and where to disagree. Just because it's going to ruin the business relationship, you are basically disrespecting your boss out in public. And to play devil's advocate, you could say, hey man, this really shouldn't matter. Dana White shouldn't really care. And I would agree, Dana White really shouldn't care what Leon Edwards says on a show, what his opinion is. But when you're basically saying, hey, I'm not going to be doing what the UFC says no matter what they say, it's kind of like undermining them in public. And I know what the UFC will do, and I think you guys know too. I remember when Francis Ngannou wanted more money and wanted more time to fight Derek Lewis. What did they announce 3 months after Francis won his title? An interim title between Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis, like the division was just going to move on. Same thing is going to happen with Leon Edwards. He's not that big of a star. They'll be more than happy to make an interim title. The only question mark here is they don't really have anybody else. Like, I think a Bilal Muhammad, Colby Covington interim title doesn't really sell too much, although they are going back and forth on Twitter, so maybe that'll help build the fight. Look, at the end of the day, I'm just worried for Leon. I think he's ruining his business relationship with the UFC, and I think he has to understand it's okay to have these conversations in private and say, hey, I do not want to sign a contract with Colby Covington's name on it, but to publicly say it basically means you're going at war with the company, and that's not what you want if you're Leon Edwards. You want to have as much of a peaceful relationship as possible, but we're gonna see how this develops. But do not be surprised if we see Colby Covington in an interim title fight in International Fight Week. But look guys, let me know what you guys think of this situation. How do you think this is all gonna play out? I'm super excited to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. It's been so fun to make these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.